Hi, this is Elena from Cutting Edge School Counseling. I am really excited to be making this video today. I've had a ton of requests to make a video about the planner I use as a school counselor and how I get organized at the beginning of the month and plan out all the different components of my school counseling program. So I'm very obsessed with planning, planners, all things planning. So I'm so excited to show you guys what I've come up with here. So this is something new I've tried this year, and it's really worked out well for me. I've been using the Bloom Teacher Planner. So Bloom Planners has a teacher planner. They have lots of different colors and all that fun stuff, designs. The one I got was like a gray and white, but I ended up going over it with some colorful duct tape in the front, made it a lot more durable, and I just like the colors. So, but it's very awesome. So far, I'm really impressed, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this in the future. So let me take you through it to kind of show you what's going on here. So in the front, there are some like working pages. There's some call home logs, which you might find useful. I make so many calls home that I don't find this to be enough space, so I don't use it for that. I just leave those blank. But there are some like blank pages that I really use at the beginning of the year. So at the beginning of the year in August, before school even began, I sort of used this page as like a brainstorm sort of planning page, and I outlined some monthly tasks I wanted to do, some daily tasks, things I wanted to do weekly, bi-monthly, other ideas for Teacher Appreciation, National School Counseling Week, all that good stuff. So I tried to just like any ideas about stuff I wanted to include in my program this year. This was my first year at elementary versus middle school, so I kind of wanted to just get it all down there about things I was interested in doing and then go from there. So most of this I did actually get done, but not all of it, but that's okay. So moving forward, it's got a page of holidays. I didn't really use that too much. And then it has a monthly spread starting in August. You get your monthly spread. And how this plays into effect for me is that we use Google service at work, so I have a Google Calendar, and every time I get an email about a meeting I need to attend, about a workshop I need to go to, whatever, it goes right onto my digital Google Calendar immediately. So even if I'm not sure if it's going to be, I have to go to it, it just goes right onto my digital calendar. So my digital calendar is like packed. So every beginning of the month, a couple days leading up to the beginning of the month, I'll sit down with my Google Calendar and with the monthly spread pages, and I'll transfer over anything that I'm going to be doing. So I may at that time decide a few things I'm going to take off, but most of the time everything goes onto this. So then I kind of have a layout of everything for the month. I also use different colors depending on our rotation day. So because we're in elementary school, we have days 1 through 6, which coordinates with the specials. So I need to know which day is which, so I have that color-coded in here. So everything goes onto my monthly calendar. Then, at the start of each week, either Sunday or Monday morning, I open to the new week. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a second. The reason I love Bloom planners so much as compared to like the Erin Condren planners and some of those other ones that are offered is because it's vague enough that I can still really like customize it to work for me as a school counselor, but it has enough structure so that I'm not like totally creating a calendar from scratch every single week. So for example, like I think the Erin Condren ones have like either subject or period, but I found that it wasn't quite as flexible as this one. So it has 7 blocks, green blocks on the side. So assumably for teachers, they would use this for period or subject or planning, whatever. And then it has a column for each day of the week. So for me, I use this for the categories of things I may need to do in a day. So as you'll see on the next page, I may do individual counseling, group counseling, meetings, so on and so forth. So you can customize that however you want. And I'll show you one of my spreads here. Gotta be careful not to make sure I don't have any kiddos' names. Okay, I think we're good. So, I use washi tape to sort of divide it according to the category over here. So you'll see I have meetings scheduled, classroom lessons, small groups, students I want to see for individual counseling, prep, and other stuff, and then after school. So this works really, really well for me because once I have that monthly spread done and it's the beginning of a new week, I sit down and I transfer like any important meetings or dates and scheduled appointments over to the appropriate week. So those you would go in the meeting scheduled section up top. My meetings are usually before school, so that's why I have it up top. Any classroom lessons I have on the digital calendar, which I schedule far in advance, I'll transfer over to the classroom lessons. Small groups if I have them. At this time, maybe I decide, oh, my leadership group hasn't met for a couple weeks. I need to have one on Thursday. So this helps me sort of plan and continually incorporate those other parts that aren't necessarily regular. Like my small groups are regular, but not the exact same time every week. So this helps me to sort of initiate that process. Then students to see. In the past, I had a really hard time deciding when to see students individually. Usually the driving force was, oh, I haven't seen this student in a while. Looks like they're having some troubles. Let's bring them in. And I didn't feel like that was intentional enough. So now I keep sort of like a roster of students I want to see either monthly, weekly, or only when they request to be seen. And then, so I review that each week, and then I can add students to the different days as far as when I think I need to see them. So I can kind of space it out, and I have a plan for which students to see. Now, we all know that as counselors, our days don't usually end up like we plan. We have lots of things that pop up, but that's why I love this planner so much, because it gives me the ability to plan, so I have a plan for the day, but still gives me the ability to be flexible enough that I can adjust as needed. So that's how I do that. I add my prep and other, so, you know, I got to prep the agenda for our student assistance meeting. I had to prep my parent workshop. So I'll put those in there so I know, you know, if my parent workshop was on Wednesday, I need to be prepping for that at least by Monday or Tuesday. So I can kind of give my mind a direction to go to as far as what needs to be done. So that's one example of the weekly spread. I use washi tape to divide it up, and this can change too. So like if one week I have tons of classroom lessons, I might make that 2 blocks and then make students to see only 1 block, depending on the space I need. And it does change throughout the year, obviously. The next weekly spread I'll show you is more in December, so there were a lot more responsive services happening, and some individual counseling. I've covered that up for you. So I got my meeting scheduled, classroom lessons, small group or PBIS, like other initiatives, students to see, prep another, and then after school. And then, for example, if I had students listed to see here, and let's say I didn't get to it that day, I cross it off, and then I just move it over to the next day, the next morning. If I do see them, I give it a little check mark to indicate, yeah, I saw them. So it's also kind of a way to track when you saw students, but I have another system that is pretty reliable for that. So at the end of each month, I don't know what you do, but at the end of each month, I do like to review what I've done and like the data for the individual counseling. So I divide it up by grade level, by topic, all that stuff. I do most of my like end of the month review on the computer, so I don't really use this page, but there is a page for each month in review if you felt like you wanted to just sort of give a narrative about it, or you could even, like I do with the charts, you could cut them out and paste them in here. Then you'd have a pretty comprehensive physical file of everything. So that's an option too. But I absolutely love this planner. I'm definitely planning on using it in the future. It's really worked well with my systems, like enabling me to be a little bit more intentional with my individual counseling and just with all the stuff I need to accomplish in a week. Obviously, as a school counselor, things don't always go as planned, but it is still important to have a plan. And so this has really given me that capability without having Post-it notes everywhere, and being able to meet the needs of my students from all the different areas of a school counseling program, individual, classroom, so on and so forth. So I hope this video has helped some of you. I would strongly suggest the Bloom Planner. I've been very happy with it so far. And I really can't say enough good things about it. I like it, and I'm probably going to use it again. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment your questions. I'll definitely reply back. And I'd love to hear what you do as far as your system in planning for an organized and intentional day, week, and month, and year of school counseling. So I hope you guys have a wonderful 2017, and I look forward to making some more videos about some of the other processes I use within the next couple of months. Thanks for watching.